A lot of strategy happens before even a single strike has been thrown. Good footwork is the best way to avoid incoming attacks and is the key to finding the range and angles to set up your own. Let's take a second to work on your movement. There are two types of strikes you can perform: quick strikes and strong strikes. Quick strikes are faster than strong strikes, but do less damage. Try using quick strikes to set up strong strikes when throwing combinations. Strong strikes can knock out your opponent, but can also be interrupted by quick strikes. A good stand-up fighter will mix up their striking attacks between quick and strong strikes. Another way to mix up your striking attacks is to target different areas of your opponent. Try aiming to the body or legs to catch and exploit your opponent's openings. Go ahead and take some time practicing your striking. You know how to strike, so let's talk about how to defend. A fight can end with just one shot, so remember to keep your hands up, especially after you throw a strike or when closing in or circling around your opponent. Let's practice your defense for a bit. To knock out your opponent, you'll need to connect with repeated shots to the head. Strong strikes are the only strikes that can knock out an opponent. So find your range, plant those feet, and land that big shot to put your opponent to sleep.
Let's go, come on!
Let's see that power. Knock out the opponent.
You gotta move, protect yourself! Stop! That's it, fight's over!
Fighting in the clinch can be a great way to wear your opponent down or to neutralize a dangerous striker. It can also be used as a tool to set up trips, throws, drop down for takedowns, or even perform lethal knees, punches, kicks, or elbows. Now it's your turn. Try clinching up with the opponent. While you're in the clinch, you can strike the opponent the same way you do from the standing position. You can also transition or pummel to other positions within the clinch to reach more dominant positions in order to set up more damaging strikes, trips, or throws. Let's see you work some striking from inside the clinch. Some serious strikes can be landed from a clinch position while the opponent is controlling your head. You can escape these positions by transitioning out or by striking or navigating away from your opponent. Try to escape from your opponent's clinch by striking or navigating away. Takedowns and takedown defense are two important aspects of MMA, as they can dictate where the fight takes place. If you're a striker, takedown defense is important. If your tactic is to ground and pound, you'll want to make sure you can complete and finish the takedown. Here you'll see how to perform and defend against takedowns once they've been initiated. Let's see you perform and finish a takedown. Every time you stuff a takedown, you have a great opportunity for a counteraction. You can strike the opponent, snap them down to the sprawl position, or even attempt a submission. All three of these strategies are great ways to punish your opponent, but you've got to be fast. If you don't counter immediately, the opponent will escape and return to the standing position. Give it a shot. Defend the takedown, then perform a counteraction. The ground game is all about positioning. The better your position, the more effective your striking will be, and the more submission opportunities you'll have. A dominant position also limits your opponent's offensive capabilities. Here you'll see how to transition, as well as how to stand back up while you're in the top position. Okay, let's perform some transitions. If your opponent is attempting a transition, you'll need to learn how to block it. Maintaining control of the opponent at all times is difficult for even the best grappler. If your opponent is constantly fighting to change positions, after several attempts, they may still be able to improve their position even if you are blocking. Take some time here to practice blocking the opponent's transitions. If the opponent puts you on your back, you'll need to perform transitions to escape back to the standing position. Here you'll see how to escape back to standing and avoid being on the wrong end of some ground and pound. Now it's your turn to work from the bottom and escape back to standing. Here's how you get back to your feet. Try to make sure that there is some distance between you and the opponent when you attempt to stand back up, as you are vulnerable to the opponent's attacks. Go ahead and transition to kick the opponent off, then stand back up. From many of the ground positions, you can move to a sub position as seen here. Sub positions allow you to use stronger strikes as well as additional submission options. Let's see you throw some strikes from a sub position. Here you'll see how to perform submissions. You can do this from the top, the bottom, or even while you're standing in the clinch. However, there are certain positions where you will not be able to attempt any submissions at all. And remember that it's much easier to tap an opponent out if you secure a dominant position first. Let's attempt a submission. When you are successful in initiating a submission, the submission game begins. 2 bars will appear inside an on-screen octagon HUD. A red bar for the red corner fighter, and a blue bar for the blue corner fighter. As the attacker, and in order to complete the submission, you'll need to chase down and overlap the defender's bar. Overlapping the defender's bar long enough results in the submission being completed. You'll notice the cameras start to zoom in, indicating how close you are to finishing the submission. Now let's see how you do. Initiate and complete a submission. The best way to avoid being caught in a submission is to avoid them altogether. Here's how to block a submission attempt. You know the drill. Let's see you block a couple of submission attempts.